So what does it mean just to be here tonight to have your team honored after all these years?
Well, it's a great event, a great evening, and I think more so because of the fact that we're going in with the 4 other great teams alongside of us being mentioned in the same breath on the 60th anniversary of the Big Five. It's just, it's just a great night.
There's just so much respect in the Big Five. You saw Temple people rooting for Villanova, and it's not like that around other parts of the country. Just to you, what makes the Big Five so special since you played in it?
Well, I think being from Philadelphia people love other Philadelphia people, whether it's an actor or whatever, a scientist, an athlete. Philadelphia people love other Philadelphia people, and there is a sense of pride. If your team is out, they're rooting for the other Philadelphia team.
I saw you got a little nostalgic this week on Facebook, and you're posting some of your old recruiting letters. Just what happened there? What made you post all those letters on Facebook?
Well, my son found this box of letters, so I just started going through them, and I actually have some pretty interesting signatures, from Hall of Famers. And I just showed Coach Massimino. He sent me a postcard from Hawaii when I was a senior. So it's just fun to go down memory lane and see some of the things they were writing to me. And
you got to play for a legend in John Chaney. Just what do you remember most about playing for Coach John Chaney?
Well, I mean, it's certainly difficult to put into words in a minute or 30 seconds, but he's like a father to all of us. I learned so much about life. Pretty much everything I have, I owe to Coach Chaney for giving me an opportunity to come to Temple.
This year we saw Villanova was the #1 team in the nation. They played Temple. Back when you were playing, you guys were the #1 team in the nation playing Villanova. Just what stands out to you about that game?
Well, it was I think the first game that we played, or maybe the second game after we became #1. I just remember the hype in the city was seemed like thick enough that you could cut it with a knife. It was all anybody could talk about. It was pre-internet, pre-social media. All the news channels led off with that being the top story of the day. And then, of course, when the game came, it lived up to all the hype. A lot of people still to this day call it the best Big Five game they've seen.
But what's your favorite memory about playing at Temple?
I don't know if I have a favorite memory. Certainly some games stick out. That Villanova game was one. Playing North Carolina was the other. Being #1 was a great memory. But becoming part of the Temple family with my teammates, and we're still close to this day, is probably one of the best things about it.
And just being an alum, how much pride do you just take in watching this current group of Owls play? Not too many people thought they'd be in the NCAA tournament this year, but they found a way, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion, but it was nice to be back in the big dance.
Yeah, I'm beside anything else, I'm a big Temple fan. I want them to do well every season. I want them to get back to the promised land, so to speak. And I really like watching the young players develop and see how they progress through their freshman, sophomore, and junior year.
Now, before we let you run, I was talking to Coach Chaney the other day, and we got into the whole early morning practices, and he said, I don't know if my kids like it, but it did teach a lot of discipline. How did you do that as a college student, getting up that early and having to run in the morning?
You just do it, basically. You just do it. It takes a couple weeks to get used to. After the first 2 or 3 weeks, you get into a rhythm. The hardest part was the preseason when there's no games. At least when there's games, you had days when you could sleep in because you're not getting up at 5 a.m. on game days. So it's the preseason that was the hardest, but it's just something that you had to do.
Well, Mike, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.